Good morning, everybody. I am just going to take a brief few minutes and show you I got in the beautiful FlyTai, which I will be writing about probably in the next day or so. I have just been really busy, and I basically get to experience each carrier for anywhere from 7 to 10 days, and so it's a very brief period, and so sometimes it's several days later before I can actually get anything written down. But I wanted to show you, because one of the things that I have not seen as yet is somebody actually side by side comparing a FlyTai and a FlyTai. I do own a Fidela FlyTai. I have the outer space version, which is the blue and red one. And then I got in the beautiful turquoise teal, whatever you want to call it, FlyTai in linen. So we're just going to take a brief look at a few things that, you know, may or may not make a difference for somebody who's looking to purchase a new carrier. So I'm just going to start with, why would you want to go with a FlyTai style carrier? And the first being that it's already got a pre-made seat for you, and the second being that it is a little bit easier for wrappers or new back wearers to be able to get their baby up on their back and have the security of having the waist tie strap and the shoulder straps. Now, there are a variety of different FlyTai carriers that you can get, and I personally have tried a couple that are strap versions, and I don't care for those any more than I do buckle carriers. I don't like the narrowness of the straps, so I prefer a wrap strap FlyTai because I like the security of being able to spread it, plus the hug that you get from actually wrapping it like you would a regular wrap. But so I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you. I have these laid out on my table right now, and I just want you to take a look. This is, you know, on top is the FlyTai, and on the bottom is the Fidela FlyTai. And so there's just a few things that I would like to quickly point out to somebody who's interested in getting either one of these style FlyTai carriers. So first and foremost is that we all know that the Fidela FlyTai has a cinchable body panel. One of the things that's fabulous about that is that, you know, you can go a lot longer with your baby in this carrier because, for obvious reasons, you can cinch the panel down if baby is small, and you can make the panel very wide if the baby is bigger, and it will get you a little bit further on as far as your wearing journey. But I wanted you to see some of the beautiful things. Oh, hi, Olivia. Let's not mess with that, please. Some of the beautiful things that I really love about FlyTai and about Soul Slings just in general is there's some beautiful detail work. And my lighting is a little bit shoddy in here because I have a huge window. Hang on, honey, and I'll wrap you in just a minute. But you can see that they have this beautiful even stitching, and it's a really lovely design. And, you know, it's one of those things where, okay, thank you, honey, where when you're looking at buying a product, that little tiny bit of a difference makes a huge difference. Olivia, please stop it, honey. Can you go ask Addie to put on your show for you? Which kid is that? Can you turn the show on for your sister? Whatever she's got, Puff and Rock or whatever it is that she's watching.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So one of the things that I have never been a huge fan of when it comes to carriers, especially a buckle carrier, is the waistband. I find that oftentimes the waistband is very, very rigid and hard to use. And when you're incredibly short-waisted like I am, you often find that when you're short-waisted, the waistband itself will dig a lot into you. So one of the things that I do like to point out to people when they're asking me about FlyTai specifically is that there is no padding in this waistband. So it's a completely free waistband that you can roll up and cinch down very easily. Whereas you can see on the FlyTai underneath, there is a padding level in it. It is not rigid. It's very softly structured. So you can see I'm scrunching it up right now, and it's very moldable, which is quite lovely for this carrier. But at the same time, the support level of the linen being what it is, you will see that you know, you don't necessarily need that padding. So one of the additional things I wanted to make sure and show you guys as well, aside from the seat being narrow, which you can see right in here, you can see that the FlyTai has a nice little bit of spread of difference. I've got, you know, the sole tie over here is right at the edge of where the FlyTai is at. And then if you come over here, you can see it's several, you know, it's 1.5 to 2 inches. Then the waist padding extends a little bit further on the FlyTai, you know, that additional 2 inches or so. But what I want to point out to you is the detail and the craftsmanship that Sole products have. You can see that they do this beautiful pleating job on their waist strap. And when you pull the waist strap up, you can see that they've cut the fabric into this beautiful shape, and it's nice and wide. So I'm going to just take a minute here and pull this over so you can see the difference in the waistband lengths. And apologies now because you're going to see my creme floor, which is kind of gross because we've got linoleum that's peeling up, and I don't, you know, we rent, so we can't really do anything about it. But as you can see, the FlyTai's waistband, the sole tie is almost double the length. It's also an additional 4 inches in width. So you get a very nice spread just on the waistband, so that way it's good for larger wearers. And also, if you're like me, you kind of have that mommy muffin top a little bit, or a little bit of pudge that kind of goes over your jeans. And this is nice because then that way I don't have it digging in at the same place that my blue jeans are, because I can spread them out a little bit more. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is again, talking about detailing, Fidela in the background, sole tie, sole slings in the front, and you can see that the straps themselves are both padded, right? Lovely, lovely padding. Again, Fidela uses this very soft, flexible padding, whereas the sole tie uses a little bit more of a firm padding. You can see it's not quite as flexible, but it does provide an additional layer of support. So also you can see both have used pleating on their straps, but the Fidela pleats them all towards the outside of the carrier, towards the bottom, so that then you get spread on one side in one direction in one way. The sole tie, however, has the pleats in the middle. So then you get, Olivia, please stop. Honey, please. I'm live right now and I need just a few more minutes and I'll be right with you, okay? Go see your brother. So you can see that the pleating is in the middle so that your spread is evenly distributed on both sides. Some might see this as an advantage. Some might decide that they don't really care for that. You know, that is a comfort thing, purely all on your own. I tend to not prefer the rigid structure of the harder foam personally, but I do really like the foam on the sole tie, because I do feel like it's nice and rigid enough that it provides that support you need. I like that they put the pleats in the middle, because it does give you a little bit more even spread when you're wearing your sole tie. But at the same time, I do feel like in some ways the Fidela might cup your shoulder just a little bit better. So looking at the back side of the carriers real quick, because I've got an antsy 2-year-old, I just want to show you a couple of things. So Fidela's shoulder pieces, you can see, are decorative as well, but not quite as decorative as the beautiful needlework that's done on the Sole products. So you can see that the FlyTai has the cinches, and again, allowing for that 2 to 3 extra inch difference that you can get in the body width and the body height of the panel. One of the things that I really dislike about the Fidela FlyTai, and I don't even use it frequently, but one of the things I really dislike is this hood. This hood is tiny, teeny, tiny. You're not really going to use it with a bigger kid. You're only going to use it with a baby. But the other thing is the type of straps that these are, this is not a conducive hood to put up if you are carrying by yourself. Now, I'm not going to say that the FlyTai hood is super duper as well, because I'm just not really flexible, so I find that I can't really use the hoods anyway unless I have somebody to help hand them to me. But you can just see the difference in where the hood falls on the panel. That is a much, much bigger hood. This is going to allow for being able to create you know, the coverage that you need for your kid when they're on your back. Plus, you can see that their straps are very long, and while they use the same type of enclosure to be able to pull the hood up and secure it, the hood itself is able to be really, really secure while actually being able to have the baby on your back. For me, really, with the FlyTai, the hood really is only good for basically rolling up the neck and securing it so that that way if baby decides that they're going to fall, you know, their head's going to fall backwards, that you secure it. So there you have it. There are the few differences between the FlyTai and the FlyTai. Obviously, you know, everybody has their preferences, but I just wanted to walk you through what some of those preferences might be for some people and why they choose. Just a moment, honey, and I'll help you. Why they would choose one carrier over another. Now, also, additionally, I want to point out this is a linen carrier along with a wrap carrier. So you're looking at a wrap conversion FlyTai and a linen FlyTai. Both have wrap straps. Both have great features. I would recommend one over another purely based on what a person tells me as far as is making them, you know, what they're specifically looking for. But we all know that I love FlyTai products, and so for me, the clear winner as far as support was concerned was the FlyTai, but for the padding level, I would definitely recommend the FlyTai. So there you go, there you have it. And if you have any questions, I will be posting photos in a little bit and actually typing all of this up for accessibility. And at some point, I will be adding a actual transcript, so for accessibility reasons, so you can read what was said. But anyway, I look forward to our next live cast. Talk to you later. Bye.